So we're not doing the fancy setup or anything today, and I'll explain why when we actually get into it. But hello everyone and welcome to the CEW Podcast. I don't know if you can tell, I sound like I'm dying. And that is because for the past little bit, I have been. I can't lie. So that is why content has been a little bit slow. And I'm recording this on the 10th. This will probably be out on like what? Probably like the 15th or the 16th, something along those lines. And maybe content's back to normal. Maybe I'm feeling better, I don't know. But at the time of recording on the 10th, I am just about getting over being ill. And I'll explain the whole journey and all of that. So if I sound a little off today, that's why. But I really just sort of need to get this done, like, now. If I end up feeling, like, really, really bad during recording, there'll be B-roll, and you'll just hear me talking. And there'll be, like, old episodes of CEW playing on here right now. But basically, how is life? It's actually pretty good. all things considered. I wish I could say I have my health right now. I'm feeling a lot better, but good God, this week has sucked balls. But I recently had a week off of work, which allowed me to just chill, do some stuff. I went to London. I watched Global Women's Strike 4, which I would have spoken about by now on the channel, but you know, I've been ill, and I wasn't able to talk about it because I've been ill. So I went on the Friday. I came back on the Saturday and ended up going to Brighton with some friends on the Sunday. And then when I came back on Sunday, whilst I was on my way back, that's when I started feeling like, to be completely honest, like dog shit. And then, yeah, so from Sunday to about sort of like Wednesday, Thursday-ish, yeah, I was basically not feeling it. So, yeah. Which is very difficult, and it's very annoying when this is the week that I was meant to potentially bring back the CAW review. We will be talking about that, don't worry, and all of that. So, you know, you can imagine my frustration when I'm being, like, you know, like, it's frustrating being sick in general, right? Like, everyone hates it, but you can imagine my frustration when this was meant to be one of, like, the weeks where I just locked in and got stuff done, because my work schedule was pretty good this week, right? Like, you know, I've done 4 days of work. I'm in tomorrow, so I'm in on the 11th, and then, my schedule's pretty lax for the next little bit. So I was like, okay, let's lock in, let's get some stuff done. And I've just not been able to do that. I've been literally lying in bed, sleeping, or watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is a great show, by the way. Fantastic stuff. So, you know, like, it's just been pissing me off. And then, like, to make matters worse, it's been a month since I've done an episode of the CAW review. I got people asking about it left, right, and center, and I'm just like, well, unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it, right? Like, one, I've been ill, so the time that I would spend working on that when I got back from London and then when I got back from Brighton, I couldn't. I don't have enough cause to do it, and it does feel like that this is probably going to be the last episode, because I'm going to be real. I've told everybody that by not moving over to 2K25, I knew that this series was going to come to an end sooner rather than later, and that's completely fine with me. Like, yeah, sure, does that mean that the channel is going to lose one of its biggest revenue streams of the CAW review? Absolutely it is, and that is a big... It's not like a massive worrying point, because obviously, you know, I'm working a job, I'm getting paid good money, and anything that I get from YouTube is just a little bit of fun money to spend on the side type deal, right? It's probably going to go back into the channel anyway eventually, and, you know, it is what it is. But also, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting to the point now where I kind of feel forced to do the CAW review. I love it. I think it's a good series, and I finally figured out the formula. I just don't think the hype's there, and that is completely on me for not moving over to 25, but I just don't want to. And I think I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to talk about it for another, like, 20 minutes again, like I have in the past. I just don't feel like I want to move over to 2K25 at all. And even if I do, some people are going to be isolated one way or another depending on what console I pick, right? Like, I think that if the next episode, which I don't know when that will be out, because again, I'm still getting over being ill, I've still got stuff that I want to upload beforehand, time-sensitive stuff, and I've got stuff I need to figure out and get done relatively soon. I've got Open Challenge Night 19 that I'm working on, I've got the Pro Wrestling Eve video that I want to do, and, you know, I've got so much stuff I want to do that honestly the core review is kind of like on the bottom of my list, even though it generates, like I said, a ton of views for the channel and really good revenue and all of that. I just can't force myself to do it because, I don't know, it felt better when it was on live stream format, but I can't even do the live streams anymore because I just don't have time, and the days that I can do it, people aren't free, and the live streams like so inconsistent that, like, I wouldn't want to get back into streaming because I wouldn't have, like, a select day to do it, you know. And, yeah, I don't know. Maybe the next one will be the last core review video, at least for quite some time, because I don't know, I just don't see there being a new, like, influx of people who are on 2K24 that want their cores reviewed. Maybe I'll find another way to bring it back. I don't know. Maybe there is a way, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But I'll try and get at least one more core review done. I don't know how long that's going to be. It's probably going to be the shortest one we've ever done because I like I said, I don't have enough cores at the moment to do a fully fledged episode. I just don't. Even if I did bring in like one or two from a couple people, as opposed to just doing one per person, I still wouldn't have enough. That's just being completely honest. So yeah, we might be looking at the end of that series, and I think that's fine. I feel like the series has been going on for about a year now, and I think that that's perfectly fine. Like, I understand some people only watch for that and whatnot. So, you know, hey, if me saying that this could potentially be the end, if that suddenly, you know, yeah, we've been going for over a year with the core reviews. If that be, you know, if this being potentially the end of the core reviews is like, hey, you guys have gone from watching the channel, that's completely fine. I get it, right? Like, I've got to move on, and I've got to change with the moving times. There might still be something kind of like community creations based on the channel, but obviously it's obvious that I just can't get the people in for the core reviews anymore, just because, well, the 2K24 servers are probably going to shut down in the next, what, like 2-3 months. So yeah, like, it's to be expected that this was going to dry up eventually. So I'm going to try and farm some more community creations based stuff whilst I can. And then maybe hopefully we can do one more core review before the server shut down. Maybe it'll be a live stream, I don't know. But yeah, that's like another, like, one of the things I wanted to talk about and I wanted to address. Another thing I want to address is a video that I am working on right now. I have the script done. I am waiting until I feel better to do the voiceover and the recording for it, because this is a series I have been working on and I have been thinking about, but I have finally gotten it done in terms of scripting and all of that I want to start, like, actually doing. But I want to kind of tell you guys sort of where I'm thinking of taking it, depending on how well the first episode does in terms of, like, viewership. Because I think whilst I'm like I said, whilst I'm not necessarily focusing on the viewership and the numbers as much, I still have to look at it from a what is time effective. And to me, if those video, like, basically it's the rebuilding Ring of Honor video. I've been working on that for a while, and I finally got the script done last night. It is about 4,000 words. It is going to be incredibly long. There are graphics being made for it. It's going to be very, very in-depth. It's going to be a lot of me talking, a lot of me kind of fantasy booking stuff. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But if it doesn't do super well, I still want to keep the series alive. But in order to make sure that, like, that doesn't, like, destroy the algorithm on this channel, because I do think that recently there have been some changes to the algorithm and whatnot that has affected the channel. And it's not just me, obviously, it's a bunch of people, but, you know, I've got to start looking at it from a, okay, I need to make sure that my audience is seeing my videos. If that rebuilding Ring of Honor video doesn't do super well, and I know what sort of metrics I'm looking for me to classify it as an okay, that's fine, that works, then it will be a members only series going forward where I will be doing like fantasy booking and whatnot, of like maybe modern things, older things, you know, stuff like that. And it will probably, just because of the amount of time it takes, it will be a $4.99 a month series. I know we have no bigwigs at the moment, but, you know, like I said, I think last month, and I'm still a little bit delirious still, I apologize. You know, I've got to start making bigwig exclusive content, even though we don't have any, because right now there is no incentive to pay $4.99 a month, right? Like, everything you get for 99p a month, like our wonderful supporters, shout out to the Wall of Support once again for supporting the channel as always, shouts to you guys, you're absolute legends. You know, right now there's no incentive to pay the extra £4, and I think that that needs to change. And if this series doesn't do well analytically, but the core audience like it, then I think it's worth making that the Bigwig series. And I'll have the Bigwigs be able to vote on like what I do next, or if they've got any ideas, they can suggest that to me. And, you know, I think that'd be a really fun series that could be done, because it takes a long time to script and get done, but if I can get at least just one of those done a month, I feel like it'd be worth the price of admission. I can't lie to you. I think the Ring of Honor one is quite cool, but again, that's just me being biased because it's me booking it, right? Like, you know, and naturally I'm gonna be like, yeah, no, my stuff's sick. But yeah, I think this week of being ill has really sort of opened my eyes to like what I can do and what I should be doing going forward with my content, because I feel like at least once a year I should be looking at what I'm doing and looking and asking myself what is and isn't working. And whilst the core review series does well, I've not seen it grow. It is stagnated, and I think that's to be expected, right? That the easy fix is to get a PS5 and get 2K25, but that costs me so much money for something that, I'll be real, if I got a PS5, it is literally just to get the 2K games, and there's no point, right? I'd rather just wait until everything's on the same servers, right? So PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, you know. Because, like, what's the point of spending all that money just to keep content up that just doesn't bring that money back, you know? Like, I'd have to work so many extra hours at work, which would then reduce the amount of content you guys get. So I'd rather just stay on 24, like I said, just keep my ducks in a row and just keep working on the content I want to make. And if that means there's no more core reviews, then, well, so be it, you know? Like, I've got to move on with content, and I think some of these wrestling think pieces I've been doing recently have been doing well again, and I kind of want to do more of them, right? Like, there's still big talking points within wrestling that I haven't spoken about, like the Triple H booking. I feel like a massive retrospective on that would be nice. I think talking about the current pay-per-view structure of both AEW and WWE would be great. I think talking about the last year of the NXT TNA partnership would be great. The issues with the WWE AAA merger, like, basically happening before our very eyes is like a big thing to talk about. Even smaller things like the complexity and the weird brilliance of El Grande Americano, to the weird returns of like Rusev and Aleister Black. You know, there's so much that I can talk about within professional wrestling that I haven't really scratched the surface on. And I think that even though there are only 2 more months of the year left, I think it might be worth just going for it. I think I'm ready to turn the channel back around, I guess, would be the thing. Because from a creativity standpoint, I don't think I've been better in quite some time. I really love what I'm doing. Europe Pro Defy the Odds was great. If you guys haven't seen that already, please go ahead and check that out. Fantastic pay-per-view from start to finish. And I genuinely think it's the best Europe Pro product I've ever put out. You know, CEW is doing better than ever. We are gearing up for Power Struggle. We've got Open Challenge Night 19, like I mentioned earlier. We have the Road to Power Struggle. We've got Power Struggle. Bunch of cool stuff for that, right? We've got, you know, obviously the think pieces. We've got the creators commentary. We got the deep dive series stuff that, don't worry, members, you will be getting videos this month. Obviously, I've just been ill, so you may only get like a deep dive episode or something like that, right? Like, it might just be one video this month. I will keep you guys in the know, but once again, thank you for supporting me nonetheless. I'm ready to take the next step with the content, but I need to cut back in a way. And there's also a project that I'm kind of grassrooting right now, and I don't want to say what it is just yet until I've got stuff ready to go. Will it do well? I don't know. This is really, like, people say that there is nothing new within the core space. But what I'm going to do is genuinely something that has either been done before but never took off, or has genuinely never been done before. And I'm really, really excited to show you guys that when the time comes. But for now, I'm gonna be quiet about it because, again, I don't want people taking the idea before I can get it done. I'm gonna probably wrap this up here because I feel like I've been rambling. That's kind of what the podcast's about, right? Like, just sort of here to talk and just to hear, well, just to hear my own voice. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just here to, you know, voice my opinions and to just kind of give you guys a very transparent look at the content that I'm doing and where we're going for the next few months, because I feel like come 2026, big things, like big decisions are gonna have to be made, man. Like, they really are. And man, I do not know if I'm ready for those, but we'll figure it out. As always, we'll figure it out. As always, thank you all for tuning in to the podcast. Apologies if I sound incredibly dead or if I had to cut to B-roll at any point during this. It is what it is, and yeah, more podcast videos for you here. YouTube really thinks you'll like this video, and there is a cheeky members only video there for you. If you want to go ahead and join the memberships, that would be greatly appreciated. Again, it's not mandatory in any way, but it'll obviously, it helps support the channel. Yeah, thank you all for tuning in. And yeah, hopefully we're back to normal by the time this is out. But I don't know. See ya.